Hi, well, it's a beautiful morning, so here's part four of my vlog that I'm doing this week. Um, Later today, I'll be doing a bit of public speaking, so I'm looking forward to it, but I already feel a little bit adrenalinized about that, so it's important I don't peak too early. So I'll do this now as a way of using up some surplus energy, a bit like in Star Trek, where they vent plasma to stop the warp core exploding. Uh, so, carrying on talking about Superman family comic that I'm reading, a complete no account comic. In fact, I looked into the publication history of this book, and the three the three characters who get to be in it, Supergirl, Jimmy Olsen, and Lois Lane, they all had their own comics until 1974, that finished, and now they're lumped together as the Superman family. So it's a bit of a sort of last chance saloon for some also ran characters. But apart from that, it's excellent. And here we are with chapter 3 of Cleopatra, Queen of America. And although I've kind of had some fun talking about this strip, I think these 2 pages are really good visual storytelling. So you start off with this half-page panel showing Cleopatra leading a parade of ensorcelled superheroes who are her mental slaves, carrying the fallen Supergirl. And she's saying, "This way, my royal retinue." Um, and she gets them to throw Supergirl off the bridge. Supergirl, who's had her powers taken away by this magic scepter. So, Cleopatra, English exchange student, magic scepter, now ruling America is what's happening, or she's in the process of taking the reins of power. And then the second page, great. No words at all, no balloons, no captions. If you look at the whole thing, interesting panel layout. So what's basically happening is Batgirl jumps in the water, having first removed her cape, realism. Uh, Rescues Supergirl, drags her to the shore, and she's initially trying to. She does the sort of mouth to mouth resuscitation thing, a scene which might in earlier years have troubled the Comics Code Authority. I think they probably might have insisted it had a big caption saying, "This is first aid." Anyway, yes, the kiss of life, it's not working. So she drags her further over to a car, takes the little cap off of the, what do you call those air spigot things? The on wheels where the air goes. The valve.
Off the tyre.
Yes, so um, she
Things that go along.
inflates, reinflates Supergirl's super lungs with the air from the tire, and that works. They have a bit of a conflab. What's going on? And we've been wondering why aren't their minds controlled the same as everybody else who's going
We
along
have
with
been
this
wondering.
Cleopatra thing? We have been
We
wondering.
have been wondering.
Well, Batgirl says, I think it's because the three of us happened to be on the New Athens campus the day Lilibet discovered the scepter, and flashback to that amazing bit of dialogue, Struth, I wouldn't want to dominate my chummies with this. I wouldn't want to control the mind of anyone at New Athens. So it's kind of an accidental spell that
Ah,
she cast there. But that word chummies, it's so cool because it almost works. It's almost something an English person could say, although it would be very old fashioned. But nobody said, you could say chums, nobody says chummies. I can only imagine.
1950s English London policemen call villains chummies.
Exactly, yes. I was thinking of a 1950s black and white movie sort of gangster saying
Yeah,
something like, uh, "Put the gun down, chummy. You'll only hurt yourself," or
it's the
you,
kind of thing.
"You got paid double by the end of the week, or we'll be back, chummy." Anyway, yes, so they know what's going on, and they plan. They're coming back. They've got to stop the big takeover, because once she's broadcast via television, her controlling powers, everything will be over. So what happens is the real Cleopatra appears. It's Batgirl dressed up. Batgirl dresses up as the real Cleopatra and comes back, and there's a she. I don't quite follow the logic of this. Batgirl pretending to be real Cleopatra is fighting Supergirl, and that makes the Lilibet, the one with the scepter, is fed up with all of this. She somehow feels she can't lose to the real Cleopatra that's really Batgirl. You see what I mean? Um, well, if that's what it takes to set things right, then Supergirl can have her Bally powers back. So, powers are restored. Supergirl throws the scepter into the sun, and it's all done with. I haven't actually turned the pages. Yes, scepter being hurled into the sun. That's more like it. Um, Batgirl takes her disguise off brilliantly. That she's got this fake Cleopatra head with her Batgirl cowl with the little ears underneath that. So it's like disguise under disguise under disguise. But all's well. And then this Danny bloke, classic Vince Coletta Inc.'s face, Danny, who's been sort of, it seems like egging Lilibet on the whole time, he says, no, I was just along for the ride to make sure she didn't get in too much trouble. Yes, I think, although we never see this character again, I think, he's probably there sort of plausibly, deniably egging on all sorts of mayhem over the years in the DC universe. Yeah, quite. So that's that. All it's like. Let's hope everybody forgets about that. And an epilogue page, which is the sort of ongoing character development stuff. So now we've got Supergirl, hanging out with Clark Kent on a motorbike ride. She's seems to be having a little bit of friction with her roommate, who's upset that she's come home at 2 a.m. Um, Roommate saying, "I'm all for having a good time, but what if a student or a board member saw you gallivanting?" So bit of jeopardy for Supergirl there in her civilian identity. She could shrug off an atom bomb, but there's the possibility of censure by a member of the governing body of an educational institution. Um, and then Superman, Clark Kent gets the final word. Linda's trying awfully hard to be a normal young woman, trying to belong on this planet that's adopted us, not realizing that we already belong where we are, doing what we do best. It's a lesson that Supergirl will have to learn for herself. So patriarchy has the last word. This being the Superman family. So has it delivered on the cover? Well, no, we never did see Supergirl with her ruched sleeves hurtling towards Cleopatra with Batgirl as referee. You could sort of say that almost symbolically happened. We didn't see Supergirl and Batgirl strewing petals in front of Cleopatra or anything like that either. That could have happened if it had all gone horribly wrong. So yeah, it's a bit of a bait and switch happening there, but it's a fun story, and back when comics were fun, it's the sort of thing you'd get, a one-off story, low stakes, kind of ridiculous, and is slightly implausible, but generally fun. And this is when those of us who are sort of nostalgic for when comics were fun. This is part of it, really. 10 or 11 years later, everything would change. This little universe where these characters did their thing would be rebooted. Supergirl herself dies. She actually, no fooling, did die with a no in a no comebacks way, and all our childhoods were dissolved. But in the pages of this forgotten and water damaged comic, probably from that plunge into the river, um, it's still 1975, and our childhoods are still intact. Okay, that's today. Plenty more to go because this is giant. We don't just get that Supergirl super length novel in 3 parts. There's other stories to come and filler items. So I'm going to be back soon with the filler items. Goodbye. Goodbye.